All right, welcome everybody to this week's showing of the main event, Hometown Heroes series here at Lanes Raceway. We already got a good starting lineup going right now. We'll head over here to the track mate. You can kind of see the starting lineup here. Breyer, Vender, Jackson Darty, Glenn Burden, Guillermo Sire, Gunnar Vender, Brian Vender, Randy Kirtley, and Jay Latham. Now, Briney, he's on deck currently. And shortly we're going to do driver introduction, so bear with us. We'll be right back with you.
We're gonna pass it down. People do the same thing. Gotcha. It's on. You talking to it? I do. You know. You gotta hold the mic first, though. Right now. Give us a second, okay?
Winner chicken for the last race. Not this one. I'm sure Glenn's got something to say.
Tell us when you're ready.
What?
Every day?
Oh, I come here Fridays. I don't.
Thursday? Sometimes Fridays, Saturdays.
I don't come on Saturdays anymore. Huh? Indoors.
No. No, you gotta say. Hold on, he's gonna say your name first.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with our driver introductions here. Starting out on red lane, we have Briar Vender. Briar Vender, you want to say anything to anybody before you get started racing today?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. All right. On white lane, we got Jackson Darty. Let me get his picture up there so you know who Jackson Darty is. All right, Jackson Darty, before we get started, you want to tell anybody anything?
I know him personally, y'all.
Okay, he knows them personally. All right. On green lane, we got Glenn Burden. Now, this is a little bit of an outdated photo as he just got him a new livery on his car. He's now representing the 14 Mean Green car, but we got to get this photo updated. This is his Brian Shaw car that he had last week. Glenn, do you got anything you want to say to fans? Maybe something about the Shaw car?
No, I'm talking about the Mean Green. They're all three down there looking at it, pecking on it, and everything else. Randy, Guillermo, and Jay.
All right. Next up, we got Guillermo Sire on orange lane. His also needs to be updated, but he got the UPS sponsorship from Central City, but tonight he's still running this car, so you'll be able to see this car as he's waiting to get his stuff clear coated. Glenn Burden donated $20 to help get some cars clear coated, so appreciate Glenn Burden on doing that, and Guillermo's going to be a part of getting his stuff clear coated. Guillermo, you got anything you want to tell anybody?
Nope.
All right. All right, after Guillermo, we got Gunnar Vender on blue lane. Gunnar, you got anything you want to say? No? All right, it's Gunnar Vender here with his number 7. All right, then coming up after Gunnar, we got Brian Vender on yellow lane. Let me get him up here. Brian Vender. Brian, you got anything you want to say? No, if he's going to pass it on. All right. Well, then next up, we got Cotton Candy Randy Kirtley. Randy, you got anything you want to say?
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
All right, and last but not least, the King of Lanes Raceway is going to finish up our first 8. Jay Latham. Jay, you got anything you want to tell anybody?
Let's go racing.
Woo! I love it. All right. So we do have a few setting out right now, and I'm going to go through those right now. So right now we got Scott. He's also in the race. Let me get him, if I can find him here. Here he is. And this will be the car he's running, the 44 Halmar car. Scott, you got anything you want to say? I see you with the microphone, man. Just passing it on, huh? Okay. Also, we got Bronny. And this is Bronny right here. He raced a little bit earlier in our brushless class. Bronny, you got anything you want to say?
After the brushless race, I'm pretty much going to kick ass and chew bubble gum, but I'm all out of bubble gum.
Okay. All right. And then a guy whose chassis I worked on during the brushless race, we didn't have his picture last week, driving the Folgers car, Briley Hoss. Briley, you want to say anything? He's going to pass it on. He's actually got a car in the garage right now. Hopefully next week he'll be running the hard body chassis. So that'll be pretty exciting. And I believe that's everybody. Am I missing anybody? Nathaniel, how come we always forget you, man? It's just like you hide in the shadows. You're like Dad whenever a wreck happens and he goes to work on his car. Nobody knows he's gone, and we're turning the track back on. All right, let me get Nathaniel's picture up here. Probably one of the best looking UMP modifieds we have, the Budweiser number 1 non-alcoholic. Natty Ice, would you like to say anything to your fans? He says, let's get this show on the road. All right, enough said. All right, folks, let me go ahead and get this back up. We're ready to go racing. Don't mind my hair. All right, racers, y'all ready? Watch your lights. Here we go. 2 community strikes followed by 3 strikes, you're out. Here we go. All right, our first wreck of the evening here. I'm going to put my hat on top here. I got nowhere else to put it. We see a white car flying to the inside. A pretty brutal looking little wreck even. Jay Latham currently in the lead there down on Black Lane. To be expected, Black Lane being a little bit faster than the rest of the lanes there. And it looks like first community is going to go to the 14 Mean Machine and Briar on red lane. Don't worry, we still got one more community before we start counting strikes. We're about 15 seconds into the heat. Okay, this is standing so far. Okay. Okay. So we see another wreck, 2 cars off on their lids, 3 cars in the wreck. One of them actually on the front stretch there as Glenn reaches down to get it. That's going to be Gunners. Number 7 is going to be involved in that incident. And that's going to be the second community for sure. We got 2 other cars too. One of them Randy Kirtley and Jay Latham down on Black. Well, it looks like everybody pretty much wrecked here. We're going to put one on yellow too, all the way up to what looks to be orange. So that's a big community failure. Oops, wrong camera. Right now, Jay Latham down low, swapping back and forth. So we see him fighting off purple here. Randy Kirtley right behind him, giving him a little bit of space here as we see him 3 wide here. Outside on the top though, red lane in some danger as it comes off the track into the crook of the track. So Briar, she's going to take her first strike here this evening. Current leader in the Hometown Hero Series, Bronny with 185 points. Randy Kirtley with 107 in second. Scott and Brian Vender tied for third with 165. Guillermo Sire in fourth with 160. Jackson Darty in fifth with 150. Nathaniel Burden 125 and Glenn 125, both tied for sixth. Gunner in seventh with 95. Briar 65 tied with Camden. Briley 60, Jay 55, and Bruce 45. Right now, Jay Latham poised to get some more points here as he's down there on Black Lane, giving it everything he's got. 1.979 is his fastest lap time on Black, and he's holding it pretty good as he comes in to reel in blue lane to Gunner Bender. Gunner Bender actually holding his own there on blue, but Jay's able to overcome it. Coming up behind Jay Latham there on purple, pushing the subject in the Jordan Hunter open wheel modified, hot pink and blue and white and all kinds of electric colors. Cotton Candy Randy. Randy really trying to stay right there with Jay Latham, trying to stay out behind the wrecks that are going to be taking place in Dead Man's Corners. We see a couple more people come off. One of those people is Gunner, and the other one looks to be Jackson Darty. So Jackson Darty and Gunner are going to take a strike here, and that's both their first strikes. Back green flag racing. A car coming completely off the track, about hitting me over here in the booth. Bronny going to pass the car. Randy's going to get pushed forward through the start lane, and that's going to be the 14 Mean Green Machine of Glenn Burden on green lane, going to take his first strike. I'm going to flash over here, maybe take a quick photo of that if you want. That's your current leaders. Heading back to the race. 30 seconds left to go. And we can still see Jay Latham out in the lead with 44 total laps. As we get a quick button press there. Car coming off. Let's see, Brian Bender take a strike, and Briar Bender taking a strike. So yellow and red. That's red second, yellow's first. Jay Latham still holding a little bit of a squeak from one of the cars. One car, Guillermo Sire, getting hit twice down the crook of the track there. Looks to be Guillermo Sire going to take a strike for sure on this. I seen his car. And then also a strike to be given out. Second strike actually to Brian Vender. 18 seconds left to go in the heat. Still got a whole lot of racing left to go, but the spread's not too far. We're looking at about 10 lap spread here from top to bottom. And a car coming off in the crook of the track, finding its way into the green lane. That's Cotton Candy Randy. He's going to take a strike here in purple lane, his first. We're getting some good looks from the crowd out here. We got some fans here at Lanes Raceway. 10 seconds left to go in the heat. Jay Latham's looking like he's going to hold this down by a couple of laps as we get another yellow flag caution here. And that's on the yellow lane. Let's see. That's third strike for yellow. That's third on yellow. Third on yellow. As we get a yellow flag here. And was Randy Kirtley pushed through? He got pushed through. Jay Latham coming off on black lane, his first. And down low, Randy Kirtley letting off, allowing Jay to move on forward and catch another quick little lap there. Jay Latham out in the lead, 59 total laps on black, followed by Randy Kirtley with 58 on purple. We can kind of see a diagonal line taking approach here for the first heat. Everybody kind of falling back lap-wise as it goes that way and the track gets longer. 55 total laps for Gunner there in third place, a hard hitter in this class for sure. Guillermo Sire in fourth place with 52. Brian Vender 51 place, mid-pack here, having a little bit of wrecking trouble there. Actually wrecked out there and got 3 strikes. Glenn Burden there 50 laps, tied up with Jackson Darty 50 laps. And Briar Vender 46 up there on red. Getting caught up in a couple wrecks. This is to be expected on red for sure. That's what we like to call the trash lane. Bronny, Scott, Briley, and Nathaniel have yet to get into the race, but a whole lot of racing left to go here, folks. Stay tuned as we head over behind me. Oh no, it's Jackson, run. And we'll head over to the oval. I need to reset the strikes here real quick. So the strikes are reset. I'm going to take it back over to the oval and you can watch these guys work. We'll be back with you in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm going to actually move the other microphone over by the racers in case they want to say something during the break.
Race starts in 40 seconds.
Eastbound and down. All right, folks. 4 red lights. They're dropping. Guillermo's in a full sprint. All right, we already got one incident taking place. Yep, that's what you do. So first community there on Green Lane. One more community left, and then we'll be in strike territory. Jay Latham's still out in the lead here with 64 total laps. Randy Kirtley right there on his heels now, as Randy Kirtley has now took the black position here, and he just made a pass there on the purple of Gunnar Bender. Randy Kirtley and Jay Latham literally on the same lap as Randy Kirtley's coming for Jay Latham. Jay Latham's in his sights. Jay Latham makes the pass on the blue car of Glenn Burden, and we get a track call from what looks to be Guillermo Sire. So Guillermo's taking a look at his car. 30 seconds here. And we got Randy Kirtley doing something to a car. Oh, that's his car. So this will be the second community. That's going to be Guillermo. We are now in strike territory.
Lock the front wheel up.
While we're taking a small break here, show you what I'm drinking. I'm representing my dad here tonight. Cotton candy, Faygo drink. Heading back over to the oval. We'll see a couple strikes here. All right. Looks like we're back in the mix here. Guillermo, he's running. He's going to make it plenty of time. Randy helping Guillermo out. So we get a couple cars involved in the incident here. Looks like it's going to be a strike for Glenn, Brian, and all of those people, or is Jay safe? Okay. So Guillermo, well, blue, orange, and white. Let's just keep it simple. Yeah, just roll it. If it's still attached, just roll it. Don't pick it up, though. Don't take your finger and peel on it, because this glue is not made for that. There we go. That's good. Keep rolling. There you go. Keep rolling. Right there. You're good. Yeah, the glue we use is a rubber style glue, and it holds the braid enough to let it have a little bit of flex. But if you go picking at it with your finger, you can easily pull this stuff up. And so we got a couple more people involved in the incident here through the crook of the track. 1 minute and 18 seconds. So we still got a whole lot of racing left in this heat. Looks like Guillermo Sire was one of them involved in it. His second strike. And the other one is going to be on red lane. That's going to be Bronny taking his first strike. Four red lights drop out to a green. Here we go. Like I said, a whole lot of racing left to go. Jay Latham still holding on to that lead on yellow. Randy Kirtley poised to come up behind him right now as they're coming into traffic here in the mix there. Gunnar Bender in purple. Randy Kirtley trying to make the pass, and he makes it. Gunnar right behind him holding his own, and it was a good clean pass between the two. Good clean racing. Randy Kirtley actually taking that one lap to Jay Latham. Jay Latham right now still lead as they come into traffic, and one of the cars come off in the crook of the track, about collecting Randy Kirtley. We can see a strike there for yellow. That's going to be first strike for yellow. And we're now seeing Randy Kirtley take over the lead. The yellow flag and a nice coast from Gunnar Bender on purple. red lane's second strike. And we're back underway. Randy Kirtley now your leader, leading the pack down on black. No man's land as he coming into his first lap victim here. Looks to be Jay Latham there on yellow lane. And he's going to make the pass on Jay right there. Coming up next is the guy on blue, Glenn Burden, as he's going to make a pass there, collecting another lap, putting him one up. But if we focus towards the middle here, Brian Vender and Glenn Burden side by side, orange and blue, neck and neck. Let's get two involved in the incident there. It's going to be Guillermo Sire and Glenn Burden taking a strike. Guillermo Sire, that's Guillermo's third. Glenn Burden on blue, that's his second. The old oval track can be detrimental for sure, as we've had as many as 4 people out at one time. But these cars definitely handle a whole lot better than what we'd see in the Fairview IT Management Cup Series. That's a red flag rotation. Our second heat down as we go over to the track mate and see Randy Kirtley running 58 on average. That's 258. 116 total laps. In second place, we got Jay Latham, 57.5 at 115, just one lap down from Randy. Gunnar Vender, top 3, rounding up your podium, 112 laps with 56 total. He's right there in the mix, only one lap down, different from him and Randy on purple. So Gunnar, definitely keep your eyes on him. They don't call him Trigger Man for nothing. This dude's coming to poise his victory here at Lanes Raceway. We're gonna move on over to the oval. After I clear these strikes, of course. Clearing the strikes. Now we're moving over to the oval. Watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right, we're back. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're in another heat here. Round robin 3 of 12. Minute 52 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley out in the lead with 122 laps, followed by Jay Latham, 121 on orange. Gunnar Bender, though, he's got a chance here to get some laps here as he makes a nice clean pass on purple with Glenn Burden. They're side by side. Glenn's not giving up. He's going to reel him back in. They're side by side running each other clean. This could spell disaster for the two if one of them doesn't make a move soon. Of course, middle of the pack, Glenn Bird in there on purple, fighting with Brian Bender up on white. Should be reeling in a lap here shortly as he's coming up against Brian right now, and he's going to make that pass on the outside of Gunner. Him and Gunner still battling it out side by side, pushing each other. Very interesting third heat here as both of these guys are hammering it home. Up on the outside of them, orange and green, we got Jay Latham and Briney battling it out, neck and neck, side by side, coming across Gunner and Glenn as we get a wreck here. Eventually it was spelled disaster. It was going to happen. Eventually we see the good times ending. Glenn Burden going to take the first community. And we had some runs going on there. It's pretty cool to see that long of a race there. Everybody running clean with each other. And sometimes that's just how it happens, you know. It doesn't mean that people are running each other rough. It's just good, close, bumping racing. Slinging dirt, folks. Sometimes the slide job doesn't always hit. So we see Glenn Burden now catching back up a little bit with Gunner, running side by side again. These guys are running good together. We'll see if they can keep it up. 18 seconds left to go in the heat. Randy Kirtley, your leader, 164 laps, up by 4 laps to Jay Latham on orange. Jay not giving up without a battle, though, as he's running smoothly there on the outside on orange lane. Good close racing as he comes in next to Gunner down there on black. We got him 3 wide there, 4 wide now in Dead Man's Corner. A good run and a good heat. Those are the kind of heats you like to see. Good close racing. Randy Kirtley with 172 total laps, averaging 57.3 after 3 heats. Jay Latham right there behind him, just 1 lap down from that on average, 56.3, 169 total laps. And rounding up your top 3, just 1 lap down from Jay Latham total laps, 56 on average. Gunnar Bender going to be a force to be reckoned with. We're going to see Briley or Nathaniel coming in this heat. And we've seen Scott run his first heat there, 49 laps. His first heat there up on red lane is the best that we've seen so far in comparison to Briney and Breyer already running 45-46. But Scott was able to come in his first heat and run 49 laps on red. Pretty good. Heading over to the oval, and I'll let you watch these guys work after we clear these strikes. Always forget to clear the strikes. All right, minute and 40 seconds. We'll be right back with you.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right, folks, 2 seconds left to go before we see those red lights. 4 red lights dropping out to green. We're going back racing. Randy was in the lead after we left, and he still is now. 3 laps up on the leader, Jay Latham. Jay up on the high side. It'll be tough to catch Randy now being on the high side. Gunner Vendor down on yellow, got a chance to gain a couple laps here. This car ended up coming off on the front stretch. We ended up losing a lap there, but he can make it back. That's the first community. Four red lights drop out to green. Good smooth race in the previous heat. Let's see if we can keep it going this heat. Still got a lot of racing left to go. We're about a quarter of the way through now. Round robin 4 of 12. Down low, Glenn Burden with that back end sliding back and forth, come off Dead Man's Corner, really humping it, trying to get in front of Briar Vendor. As Briar Vendor gets into contact with Gunner Vendor there on yellow lane, sending them both to the outside. That was like a slow motion wreck for me. We're going to take the second community. And now we're in the 3 strikes, folks. 3 strikes are out. Gunner actually poised for the first opportunity tonight for single 5 strikes. Let's hope he doesn't get it. But if he does, he's got a Yahoo waiting on him just to cool the pain if it takes place. Gunner, of course, pushing a little bit harder as he's trying to make some pretty good laps here up on Randy and Jay Latham. So he's wanting to get up there a little bit higher. He really wants to, as we see both Gunner and Briar getting involved again, a little bit of rivalry taking place here. We're going to see the first strike for Gunner and Briar here. Jackson Darty out here clapping. Loves to see a good race. 4 red lights drop out to green. Here we go. Hopefully Gunner and Briar give each other a little bit of room. We'll see though. As we see Gunner coming up on some traffic here. Going to make a pass on Randy Kirtley here. Going to get one of them what he needs here. Needs to get one on Jay Latham up on White Lane. He's 2 cars ahead of him right now. He's got to pass that blue car that just comes off. Briney's blue car. Briney is going to take a strike there on blue lane. His first. See Gunner making a pass there on Jay Latham, getting one. Still 2 laps difference separating these two, and where Gunner's had a couple wrecks there. It's only made him do 29 laps to Randy's 32. So he's going to have to. This much stuff looks like Glenn Burden coming off there on Black Lane. So that'll be his first. Another yellow flag hit right there. 40 seconds left to go in the heat. Guillermo Sire is going to get the car put on, and that's on red lane. That's going to be Riley's first strike. Let's see if Riley can turn enough of the laps to beat Scott. I think Scott turns 48 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we get several cars off on the inside. A full speed come apart here involving 3 cars right now. Glenn Burden's one of them. Looks like Briney's one of them. And Gunner. So that's going to be Briney's second, Glenn's second, and Gunner's second. Was it Gunner? I think it was. That's Briney. Yeah, and Gunner. Is white and red, are they off or did they just land there? They're off too, white and red. So red's second, that's Brian's second, and white, that's going to be their first. Brutal, brutal. All right, we got a yellow flag. We might see our first one setting out here. Color, yellow. That is yellow's third. And also the reward of a Yoo-hoo for this gentleman. Gunner Bender going to take home the honors of being senior 5 strikes here at Lanes Raceway tonight. It happens to the best of us. Randy Kirtley taking home those honors second to me. It's kind of somewhat of a bittersweet badge of honor to be a senior 5 strikes. Who doesn't love a Yahoo? And who don't love a user? 16 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley in the lead. Jay Latham following up. 7 laps difference separating the two. Glenn Burden there in 3rd place. 5 laps down from Jay. And we get a red flag rotation. Randy Kirtley going to take the lead still and hold it. As so far, not seeing anybody match his pace other than Jay Latham there on black. Jay, of course, turning the most laps right now with 59 total laps. 227 total laps turned by Randy Kirtley at 56.8 on average. He is definitely boogieing his way to victory. Jay Latham in second, 219 total laps on average, 54.8. And to round up your top 3, Gunner's going to fall from grace just 1 notch, not too bad, as Glenn Bird's going to take over 3rd position with 53.8 on average. Let's clear these strikes off the board real quick. Take a little me time here. Still drinking the cotton candy, Randy. I'm representing for the family here. Nonetheless, guys, if you're interested in slot car racing, give us a call, 270-278-1400. If I see your call, I will get back to you if I miss it. If I don't, usually I have my phone on me and I can get in touch with you. Not to mention, we have a bunch more racing other than this to do. Other than series, you can come in casually and spend the day with us for $8 plus $4 for the next 2 individuals that you bring. So come on in, hang out with us Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're open, and it's just a good environment to come hang out. So definitely check us out, like, subscribe, and all that stuff that normal people do. And I only want you to do that if you really do like what you see here. If you don't, then don't do it, because nothing really is worse than having a big bunch of people that are subscribed to you and none of them watch it. So if you like it, then actually like it. If you don't, I'm not forcing you. Minute and 9 seconds. We'll be right back with you. Watch these guys work.
The race starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds. Race starts in 5 seconds.
All right. 4 red lights drop out to green. Here we go. The strike board's been cleaned. Randy Kirtley's still in the lead as we got, a car inside of another car in the backstretch. First community already down 3 seconds into it. As we come up, orange is going to take a community. Red lane is going to take a community. And the black lane. All around the board. Top, middle, and bottom. Heading back over to the oval, 4 red lights dropping out to green. And I'll tell you what, for as many people that are just getting involved starting slot car racing, this race actually goes quite well, as it predominantly has quite a few people just starting in slot cars. These guys are actually handling these cars really good, and they're actually hooking up really good. And we're seeing several seconds pass before we see a yellow. On some of our faster classes, of course, it's not the case, but it seems like tonight, that's what we're seeing here, folks. A lot of good racing, side-by-side racing. A good pass there on yellow lane from Glenn Burden on purple of riding. Neither one of them got to each other. And it's They crossed up Dead Man's Corner. Coming into some lap traffic here. I mean, we're already about a minute in and not even a single wreck here. We have plenty enough track marshals to actually track marshal this thing, but the strike system is a favorite amongst racers. So it looks like the blue lane of Scott Daniel going to take a community, the second community on blue lane. And we are now in strike territory, but we're already almost halfway through the heat, so not really all that bad. Randy Kirtley there in the lead on white lane. Glenn Burton right there on his heels, 9 laps different. Sweet yellow flag there. Guillermo Sires going to quickly snag that car before it gets involved in any kind of incident. They're on red lane, going to take their first strike. Thank you. Wife says she loves the hat. If you guys are wondering what it looks like this. I got my headset on. It fits good enough. I don't want to put it on the floor. Now, I know our floors are pretty clean, but I still don't want to put it on the floor. Yeah, sure, take it. Thank you. Don't, you know what to do. Turn it upside down so don't mess it up. 43 seconds left in the heat. Randy Kirtley, 10 laps up on Glenn. Gunner still not out of the mix here, but he's several laps down from Glenn after he took that three-strike hit the previous heat. There's still hope. Gunner and Breyer are there just 1 lap apart from each other. Breyer down on the lower lane here is poised to maybe take that third position from Gunner here. About a half of a track separates these two from third position. Breyer gaining about 1/10 of a second per lap. We get a red flag rotation, and what a quick heat we had there. Only had about 3 incidents. That was about it. So that's a pretty good heat by anybody's standard. So we head back over here to the oval. We'll check out the track mate while we got time. Randy Kirtley averaging 55.6 after that heat. 278 total laps. 8 laps down from that, we got Glenn Burton. He actually brought it from 10 to 8 laps after that heat. He's 54 on average, and then we're going to see a little bit of separation here, and we see Gunner and Breyer Vender both tied up right now. 254 total laps, 50.8 on average, and a battle ensuing for that third position. Jay Latham, of course, there right below him with 219 and an average of 54.8. Going to take you back over to the oval and let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you as soon as we start going back green.
Starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds.
All right, the drama's already started here, and we're going to see 4 red lights. Breyer and Jackson having words before we started the race. Whew, Jackson, he's saying, you know, hey, take it to the track or something. I don't know. A minute and 50 seconds, 10 seconds in, not even a wreck. Glenn Burton's going to take the lead now. 276 laps. Next to him, Breyer and Gunner. They've been battling it out the past 2 heats here. Even got involved in a couple incidents where they tied up down low. So we see a car getting shunted to the high outside there. That's going to be Nathaniel Burton taking the first community. Heading back over to the oval, we got 4 red lights dropping out again, and a lot of excitement taking place down low as we seen a dive bomb down there by Scott Daniel, dive bombing Breyer there. I thought they were going to go in side by side, but Breyer actually took the smarter approach there and kind of led off as she had the outside disadvantage. Now she's side by side with Glenn Burton, our current leader, and she's able to get just a little on him. She gets kind of hung up there in Dead Man's Corner. What a coast by Gunnar Vender as he rolls around there on white lane. See the black lane of Ronnie take the second community. The guys are looking at the car to exit the Dead Man's Corner. 4 red lights drop out to green. Here we go. Glenn Burton, your current leader, is he's trying to make a pass on the outside of Yellow. Yellow is now picking up the pace there a little bit and streamlining in front. Behind Glenn Burton on green lane, though, we got Nathaniel Burton pushing the subject. As we get a wreck to take place here, Guillermo Sire is going to go up there and grab it. Now that looks to be Scott Daniel going to take his first strike of the day. And 57 seconds left to go. We're halfway through the race here, folks. And what a race it's been so far. Pretty good, pretty tight, close racing. We're going to see Action Jackson himself up there on red lane take his first strike of the day. Down low, a nice clean pass on purple. Scott Daniels taking that pass down low, getting in front of Breyer just a little bit there on yellow. Breyer currently in second. Gunnar Vender a lap down from that. And Glenn Burton holding steadily there in first place as he makes some nice, smooth, consecutive laps. On the how outside of him is Jackson Darty running neck and neck with him. As we get a yellow flag, and that's going to be Gunnar going to take his first strike on the white lane. Car go to the outside yet again, and that's going to be Jackson's second. He's been on a wrecking spree here as of late. And that's another red flag rotation. A pretty smooth little run there for sure. Glenn Burton, total laps 323, averaging 53.8 in the lead right now. Breyer Vender there in second place with 51.3, able to edge out a 0.3 in front of Gunnar after Gunnar running that white lane there. So she'll be running that white lane a little bit later, and we'll start seeing a little equalizing happen between these two. Both of them very, very competitive, very close together. There in fourth place, you see Randy Kirtley currently setting out 55.6 on average with 278. He'll be back in later on. He's still got 3 heats left to run. Nonetheless, let's clear these strikes out. Get ready for the next heat. Moving on over to the oval to let you watch these guys work, and we'll be right back with you.
Starts in 1 minute. Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds.
20 seconds before we start back at Green Racing. A lot of chatter over in the pit box. All these racers trading intel when it comes to who's got the brake turned to what, and sensitivity, and curve, and different chipsets. Sorry about this song, folks. I just heard it say a cuss word. Forgive me on that. Oh, here you go, bud. T's going to go down to the local Subway. They just sent a picture to my phone, and it's got jalapenos and cheese melted into the bread. And I want one. I want a foot-long tuna, shredded cheese. See my wife, she's heading down there right now because I just got to have one for the night. So it's the first community there on red. Going to be Guillermo Sire. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I think sometimes this week too, what I might do is I got a tripod in the back now. I'm going to try to set the tripod up about where you can kind of see. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. You can see Gunner over here. You see him standing up right there. About where he's at, maybe set up a tripod right in that area. And then put a camera on it and just move it back and forth to our lead racer. And I'm hoping it'll have enough fidelity that you can see the cars a little bit better and maybe even keep track of them. So I'd see second community is going to be on red and white. And we are now in strike territory. We're one heat in past halfway. So far, a good race. Glenn Burden is your leader as we see a car shunted to the high outside. Now, I talked to Guillermo Sire in the previous heat right before it started, and I was told that he has a seized up front wheel. So this could be some of the issues here that we're seeing with Guillermo's car here. I'm sure he'll get it fixed by next week for sure. Oh my, as we see a car take a hard hit, about took Guillermo out. It was Guillermo about taking himself out. Guillermo took a hard hit there on the high banks. So he's going to take another strike. That's his second, folks. we've also implemented something starting after today that if the guys spend the time to make these cars look more realistic with model parts, like putting model motors in the front, headers, push bars, you know, even little fuel cells in the back, mud plugs in the tires, we're gonna give an overall rating and give them a couple laps before the race starts, kind of like how they do in that 24-hour lemon race my brother does. Now, my brother hates that kind of stuff where they have to go in there and, you know, judge whether or not you're a certain theme or whatever, but I always kind of thought that stuff was fun, and I think it'll be kind of fun here too. Plus, it'll make the cars look more interesting for the pictures for sure. So we go here, and it'll be a strike there on black. Not to mention, and blue. Not to mention, you know, I mean, these guys, we got to give them a little bit of something because they're adding weight to their car in a place that really ain't going to help it much. So it is kind of keep it still somewhat competitive while they still keep the cars looking cool. And some of these cars, I'll tell you, man, some of the liveries on some of these cars are so spectacular, and they really do look like UMP modified cars. It's like driving models around the track. I know that you guys can't really see it too close here, but we do have a Facebook page where we take some up close and personal pictures of some of these cars, and of course in our driver profiles at the beginning of the introduction for the racers, you can kind of see what their cars look like a little bit closer view. 13 seconds left to go in the heat. Glenn Burden out in the lead, 368 total laps of 46, median of 2.40. He's running pretty consecutive there. As we get another yellow flag here, somebody came out. That looks to be Briley there on purple lane. Going to take his first strike. A whole lot different driver, Briley, this week from last. Last week, I think he wrecked out a couple times, but this week I've only seen him actually have 2 wrecks. So he's definitely got that car under a lot of control as of late. I don't know what he's done in the previous week to get this thing set up the way it is, but nonetheless, he is being very consistent this race. So somebody to keep an eye on for sure for the end of the race as we start coming towards the latter part of it. Heading over to the track mate, let's just take a look at red. I was asked earlier by Jackson to see who turned the most laps on red lane. And Scott Daniel and Jackson tied with 49 so far. So both these guys running a pretty impressive black lane. Now, of course, we still have several people needing to run the red lane, so that's still up in the air. Now, as for the other side of things, on the black lane, we see Jay Latham turning the most on black lane, and that seems to be somewhat of a trend for Jay tonight, as I believe he turned the most in the previous brushless race on black lane with the most laps. So it's pretty cool to see. Nonetheless, I'm going to head over to the strikes. I think I've cleared them already. We're going to head over to the oval, let you watch these guys and gals work on their cars. We'll be right back with you.
Starts in 40 seconds.
That looking good?
Race starts in 20 seconds.
right, here we go. 4 seconds left to go before we see those red lights. Strike board's been reset, community's reset, and we got a cluster going in yellow, blue, and orange. And we see a car coming off, a red car here. And I only know of one red car, so that'll be Nathaniel Burden taking the first community. Cluster of cars here. Can they make it? Can they keep it clean? No. This black lane, I believe, comes off there. And yes, Briley coming off there is going to take the second community out of commission. We're now in strike territory. Briar Bender now currently in the lead there on white lane. She's going to come out after this one, but she's holding down the lead with 374 total laps this heat. And Briney there in orange lane in second. Scott Daniel there in third place at 285. Nice little three-way action, blue, orange, and green. Can they keep it going? Oh! Looks like Guillermo's car just took off straight. As he's going to take the first strike of the heat. Here we go. Good clean racing halfway through the heat. See the high side coming out of Dead Man's Corner seems to be the rough side. A lot of people running that red lane all the way up against the wall for sure. So that's going to be a strike there on orange for Briney. Seems like just over too much heat rolling through there. Sometimes the back gets unsettled. Another big wreck area that I've been noticing is coming through the crook of the track there. Cars getting their backs into unsettled. See, like there's another hard hit there on the high outside of Dead Man's Corner. But they get upset through the crook of the track there and just dive bomb it right in the high banks. So that's going to be another strike there on Briney. That's his second. One more, and that's it, folks. And it looks like, did Guillermo get a strike there? Okay. That's going to be Guillermo's second. Ooh, we're sitting down low of Riley there, checking up purple lane and Nathaniel, causing two to come off there. So we see black, purple, and white, I believe. Gonna get a strike. All their first ones. A little bit rougher of a heat here. Got several racers here getting involved in some incidents. Kind of clustering up a little bit different than we've been seeing here as of late. It's like the little bit slower drivers there kind of find a cluster and just hang out in it instead of make the pass or check back down to allow the racer to go on by. But as you can see one of those clusters forming now in Dead Man's Corner, this is what spells disastrous for those wrecks. I'd say probably this heat or this lap coming up, we're going to see a wreck. But somehow or another, they made it through. 2 seconds left, and here we are. A nice, smooth coast there by Scott as we get a heat over. Head over to the tracks and clear those out for next heat. And take a look here at the track, Nate. We can see that Breyer is still in the lead, 412 total laps. Glenn Burden, 373 total laps, and Briney, 354 to round up the top three. Now we just got disconnected from the session, so give me 1 second. Let me fire this baby back up. A little friendly picture there of Nathaniel Burden for your viewing pleasure. There you go. And we'll take this back over to the oval and let you watch these guys work. We'll be right back with you. That's my fault. I probably should have said something about that. All right, so we're back. Just a little iteration here. We do allow people to put glue on the track, but it's supposed to be in specific positioning right before the corner so it drags through to help everybody grip but not slow them down. That's going to be a community for red. But we're having some people put glue in the middle of the track here. Now, that may help the individual's car stay on or something like that. I highly doubt in the middle, though. It kind of seems like that would pull them out. But, yeah, no glue in the middle of the track. All right, here we go. Blue and orange. We're going to take the second community here. And we're in strike territory. Oh, my. As we get two people just like straight hammering each other here. Glenn Burden, probably the best hooker I know. When it comes to hooking these cars, there's none better than Glenn. And that's going to be a strike on blue, his first. So I just had my wife go order me one of those jalapeno bread Subway sandwiches, and I ate one of the jalapenos off of it, man. I'm telling you, that thing's like a habanero, cooked down, spicy. So we got two coming off here. Now, it's like Guillermo can't buy a bucket. That's going to be his second strike there on blue. we got another one coming inbound there on white lane. Going to get a strike. Oh my, so we get 2 cars. Jay's excited about his car staying in. We got another car though coming off. That's Bronny's car. They're on white. That's going to be his second strike. So Bronny and Guillermo, both of them in danger zone. As we see a car come off and flip upside down on his lid, Long Arms Glenn's going to grab that Folgers car. Now that car is Briley, his first strike on yellow. Purple? Yeah, I already got the strike on yellow. All right, 4 red lights drop out to green. Here we go. Guillermo making a risky move there as he dive bombs it down low on blue lane. Is able to make the pass there. So we're going to see Brian Vender here take a strike on green, his first. That was some good smooth racing that I was seeing there. Felt like I was at the real racetrack. The only difference is I ain't getting no dirt in my eye. Maybe a little glue. See Brian Vender now moving pretty good there on the green lane. Like he's going to make a pass on the outside of Riley there. But Riley fighting his own down on yellow, keeping it in the groove. Oh, the nice undercut there on Jay Latham. Brian making that good pass. Back to the blue car, Guillermo Sire. He's kind of biding his time down there on blue, side by side up there with Jay Latham. Up on red lane. Oh, and we get a wreck in the corner of the track. Who's involved? Who's involved? This is a big deal. So it looks like Scott Daniel and Jay Latham. Scott Daniel will take his first. Jay Latham, his first. Ooh, back end of Scott's car there. Took a little damage. Looks like the back end got ripped on him. Nothing a little super glue can't fix. That's going to give him a little aerodynamic advantage. See Jay Latham take his second strike here. Lucky for Jay, the heat's about over. Jay Latham running a different style hard body here. He is running the KC Eagle, I think is what it's called. KC Racer. One second left to go in the heat, folks. Randy Kirtley is going to be coming in this next heat as we end it there. Heading over to the track mate, Briar Vender out in the lead, 412 last 51.5. She's completed her race. Bronny there now completing his race in second position with 402, an average of 50.2. Glenn Burden still got one heat left to go. 373 is what he's at right now. poised to maybe drop Briar down a notch here. 53.3 on average. Scott Daniel at 53, so him and Glenn pretty close together there, just 2 laps separating those two. Riley there coming up big time from last week. 313 total laps right now, 52.2, and still got 2 heats left to go. So Riley definitely going to be finishing up towards the upper portions of the track there. Keeping his car on is definitely paying off for him this weekend. Gunnar Bender, 51. He's still got 2 heats left to go too. So keep your eye on him as he's always a front runner there in this class. Randy Kirtley, 55.6. We're going to see him shoot to the top real quick as he's got 3 heats left to go. And 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go before we go back green racing. Let's clear these strikes out and take you over to the oval. We'll be right back with you in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Round robin 10 of 12 coming up next.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Race starts in 20 seconds.
Can't move that one.
Race starts in 5 seconds. Get ready.
All right, folks, 4 red lights dropping out to green. The strike system reset back to Neil as we get a car flipping off the high banks, end over end, cartwheel style. About got the spaceman. That's going to be Nathaniel Burden, going to take the first community. Me and Nathaniel earlier were actually talking about how the spaceman has survived so long here at Lanes Raceway and has not took a hit yet, but the rest of that wall is peppered with hits. What'd you say, Glenn? Oh, you did? I know, it was close. That baby was a full-fledged cartwheel, end over end.
1.972.
So Nathaniel was actually trying to take the spaceman off the walk, but he couldn't do it. The reward still is, if you break the TV back there by the speaker, I'll still give you $100. So if you can make that happen, probably going to have a tore up car nonetheless. Oh my, Guillermo Sire, he was aiming for it. His car come off there, slipping, sliding back through the crook of the track there, ended up causing it to come off, and I mean hit hard in the high banks. So Guillermo Sire is going to take the second community here. So we head back over here to the open. Scott Daniel, our current leader now, 377 total laps, followed by Riley on orange, second. Ooh, and a little side-by-side action coming out of that man's corner there for the Guillermo Sire and Nathaniel Burden mobiles. So first strike of this heat is going to go to Jackson Darty down on Black Lane. giving a little love nudge. And on the other end of the track, Randy Kirtley and Scott Daniel dodging for their lives as Guillermo Sire's car comes through like a rabid animal. Whew, sweet mercy. The blue lane. Take a strike here, folks. Oh, I had it on there the whole time. That's my fault. And purple, sorry, there was some stuff going on in the pits. I got to swap back over to the oval. Y'all missed a pretty good wreck there. Sorry about that. Riley car will come out and takes out Jay Latham too. So Riley on orange going to take his first, and Jay Latham on green his first. Strikes all around, freely given. Looks like Bronny's partaking in the cotton candy, right? Oh yeah, cotton candy Randy. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Jay Latham's car takes a tumble for the worst. Here to Jay Latham. That's going to be his second strike, folks. We had 13 seconds left to go in the heat. So it looks like Scott Daniel and Cotton Candy Randy going to take a strike. They're first. So everybody but Nathaniel so far got a strike. Nathaniel's able to stay on. Quick hands by Glenn Bird and grabs Scott Daniel for Scott Daniel's second strike on White. So Scott Daniel and Jay Latham, the only two strikes currently. Yeah, I've already got those. Scott Daniel turning 400 laps. Round robin 10 to 12. We get a car come flying off. Bronny just moved 2 seconds ago. If he didn't, he would have took that one right in the shins. Bronny, are you clairvoyant? It's gonna be a strike for Blue. Their second. Oh, and a hard hit roll for Guillermo Sire. Guillermo Sire down on purple, his second. A lot of twos popping up. Cotton Candy Randy letting it all hang out on red lane as that back end steps out like Bobby Pierce. Ba-bow. What we got here? That looks to be Nathaniel Burden on yellow, his first. Everybody's got strikes now. 19 seconds left to go in the heat. Scott Daniels' car to the high outside. Scott Daniel is third strike. He's going to be setting out for the next 15 seconds. Guillermo Sire comes out. Oh, it's all full-fledged debacle out here. So that's going to be a strike on Guillermo on purple. His third. He's gone. And we got one for Brian Vendor. His third. He's gone. And who else? Number. Oh, Orange Lane. Okay. Riley, his second. So blue lane and purple lane are gone. Yep. And yellow's second. Oh, you just rolled through? Okay, let me put a scribble through that. So the number of racers slowly dwindling as we get a final. Look at this, folks. Nothing but red. That was a bad heat for everybody. Clear that out. Let's head over to the track mate. Scott Daniel out in the lead, 413 total laps. Breyer, 412. Briney, 402. Glenn Burden, 373 there in fourth place. We still got two more round robin heats left to go, folks. Heading over to the oval. Watch these guys work. Be right back with you. right, here we go. 2 seconds left to go before Seals red. Drop out to a green. The strikes have been reset. We got this heat and one more. We're looking at 4 minutes worth of racing, and that's it, folks. Riley out in the lead, 367 total laps right now. He's ran a really good race. So we're going to see Gunner take the first community there on red. Randy Kirtley there, close in second. Purple Lane going to take the second community. That's Brian Bender. I do appreciate all the racers helping track marshal while they're setting out. It helps for a better viewing experience. Plus, it helps the race move along a little bit better. It's just good for the club altogether. As we see Jay Latham's car coming off there. And Jackson, for some reason or another, dancing up next to Jay. All right, Jay Latham's going to take the first strike there for blue. All right, that's going to be a strike on purple. Brian, his first. I mean, I got probably one of the best seats in the house for watching this race, really. Like watching them come off the high banks down into Dead Man's Corner, watching the back ends kick out. It's just good looking racing here, folks. Plus the sound of these cars is pretty exceptional. Oh, so see Riley get involved in an incident there with Gunner. So Riley up on white going to receive his first. And Gunner up on red going to get one. What a pass by Guillermo Sire down on Black Lane. Slips that baby in there on Dead Man's Corner. And another wreck off in the crook of the track here. We see Scott Daniel reach down there and grab it. That's going to be Gunner. Gunner is going to take his second strike there on red. 26 seconds left to go in the heat. What a race it's been so far. These guys all giving it their all. And I'll tell you what, it's been a close one. Let's see, everybody from the top to the bottom are within 50 laps, and that's something in slot car racing, especially to keep them that close and tight. Oh, and a little bit of give and take there from Nathaniel and Randy Kirtley back and forth. Down low, Action Jackson keeping it up the best that he can. So we get a heat over signature here. Not much excitement there when it comes to wrecks. We'll go ahead and clear the strikeout. We're coming into the final heat here. Scott Daniel currently in the lead, 413 laps. In second place, Briar Bender, 412 laps. Briley in third place, 412 laps. Don't forget to mark where your cards are. Bronny in fourth position with 402, and Randy Kirtley is going to start it, folks. He's going to be one of the first 8 from Randy down. All these guys get one more heat to roll. going to be a show here. 413 is the lap to beat. 413 is the lap to beat. Heading over to Oval to watch these guys work. Be right back with you. Final heat, folks. 4 seconds before we see those red lights. Guillermo doing some quick modifications, getting that nose under the bar. So runs back to his controller. 4 red lights right out the ring. Here we go, folks. This is it. 413. Current lead right now. The actual lead here. So Randy Kirkley, the closest, of course, with 389. Nathaniel Burton, 380, tied with Jackson, 380. And Glenn Burton, 378. 377, Brian Bender. Jay Latham, 376. And we got Guillermo, 363. And Gunner, 360. Most likely, these are going to be the guys that you're going to see in the top 8. One community down. I didn't see who it was, so we'll just go ahead and skip to the second community because I know they did hit the track call button. I was running my gums. What can I say? Minute 34 seconds left to go in the heat. These guys are racing like they're professional. You see a change of movement there, Brian and Glenn. Almost an incident there as a checkup took place. So Guillermo Sire going to take his first community, and Glenn Burden. So Glenn Burden there, this will be the second community, and Guillermo. So now we are in strikes. I couldn't tell you who got the first community, but I know the track got shut off. So 3 strikes are out. Here we go. He goes to the high side there on the lean. So purple lane going to take a strike here. That's going to be Jay Latham first. Flag here, the car to the inside. 2 cars actually coming off. Got one on black and Jay Latham again. So Jay's going to take another one, and Black Lane is going to take their first. Brian, he's really moving there in Black Lane. He's coming up on Jackson right now, fixing to take that second position. 40 seconds left to go here. Motivation is key. We're seeing him approach right now. Jackson Darty. So we get a flag here. Let's see what that is. Black Lane. That's going to be Brian taking his second here. But he really has no option here if he's trying to push for that second position. He's right now seating comfortably in the podium. He's just got to keep it alive here. Car to the outside there, and a yellow flag. That's going to be Glenn Burden on red lane taking his first. 16 seconds left to go. Jackson and Brian tied up on laps. Who's in the front of who is the question. Looks like Jackson by about a car length, or by a track length. It's going to be close, folks. And Jackson's going to hold it off by like 8 feet. So let's head over to the track mate here. Top three, Randy Kirtley, first place, 440 total laps. Jackson Darty in second with 429, 53.6. And 428, Brian Vender in third place with 53.5. Exceptional racing from these three individuals. But not to count out our mid-pack here, Nathaniel, Jay, Glenn, Guillermo, Scott. Breyer had an exceptional race all the way up there to about 20 seconds left to go. 4:13 was the time to beat, so that's pretty exceptional. From top to bottom, we're looking at 38 laps separates the very front to the very bottom. Everybody in averaging 50 laps or better. So it's pretty cool here to see. Everybody gathering around here trying to get a peek at the round robin 12 at 12 here. All these points are going to get added up here. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's Hometown Hero class here. Several new car liveries out there. The Mean Green. Of course, a couple of them getting retired early. Nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in. God bless you. Have a good rest of your evening. And we'll see you next week here. Same time, same place. Lanes Raceway. It's 90D. I'll see you later. God bless you.